With our eyes on the skies, strong storms moving across the viewing area on this Easter Sunday.
Katie Blake tracking the storms for us here in the studio with help from Justin Horn, who's out in the storm chaser. Katie, what can we expect the rest of the night?
Yeah, we've had some severe storms out there, mainly north and west of San Antonio so far this evening. Some that have had a history of producing very large hail. I want to start off with a look at the severe thunderstorm watch. The initial area has been expanded a bit, mainly for some of our westernmost counties, including Uvalde County. So we do have this watch that will still be in effect until 8 p.m. And the reason why the area was expanded a little bit farther west, I'm going to drop this off really closely. I'll be right back. We had some storms that have popped up now west of a storm that was severe. It's not severe anymore, but we have some additional development north of Highway 90, south of Utopia and Tarpley, and then west of Medina Lake. But the storm that has been giving some folks up in Bandera County, places like Medina, Bandera, Lake Hills, and Medina Lake, the storm's been giving them some trouble with some large hail, is now moving into western parts of Bexar County. Thankfully, this storm is not severe anymore, but this one had a history of producing some very large hail. Right now, we're looking at just some small hail from Castroville into western Bexar County, just about to Loop 410. So some folks along Highway 90 in western Bexar County are getting some nice heavy rain and maybe some small hail at this moment. Meteorologist Justin Horn has been watching this storm for the past hour or so and has a live look at what he's seeing there out in parts of Medina County. Justin, producing.
Hey there, Katie. We are in Castroville, and we've been seeing some dime to marble size hail where we are as this storm passed through. Now, it did weaken a little bit as it made it to Highway 90. It was moving southeast. Obviously, as you mentioned, this had some much larger hail in it earlier as it moved through the Medina Lake area and then up towards Bandera and the city or town of Medina. But where we are in Castroville, the hail remained, I'd say, sub-severe. Got some decent rain out of it, which no one around here is complaining about in that regard. And just as we talk to you here, we're starting kind of to see the back end of this as it's coming through. And right now we're just getting some light to moderate rain. This storm has, again, weakened, I think, somewhat as it has moved south. It was really packing a punch earlier. Happy to report just some small hail here. Other than that, good rain. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Some gusty winds, too. I'd say we saw some gusts 30 to maybe 40 miles per hour as that initial kind of line moved through. But the rain already starting to let up a bit where we are along Highway 90, just east of Castroville. Back to you guys.
Justin Horn out in Storm Chaser for us tonight. Thank you. Be safe. Our other story we're keeping an eye on tonight, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center says it is in desperate need of donations.
Yeah, our community needing to step it up. The reason for that, we are apparently fluctuating between less than a day and a day's worth of the universal blood used at emergency scenes. Whenever first responders get to a scene and need to give patients blood immediately, they use O negative because there's often not enough time to check the person's blood type.
Now, the center explains with all the blood types put together, we have just a 4-day supply right now, and ideally they'd like to have a 7-day supply. The organization adds during emergency levels like this, they can ask for help from outside communities, but they can only do that so many times.
Somebody who's needing a blood transfusion for a cancer treatment or for a blood disorder, that they may have to wait because we have to make sure we have enough blood in an emergency.
Communications Director Roger Ruiz says they need about 600 donations a day. And right now they're only currently seeing about 350 per day. He believes spring break, fiesta, and now the Easter holiday have all played a role in slowing down local donations.
An overnight shooting on the north side, leaving police with a lot of questions. Our Jonathan Cotto explains how a fight left a man in critical condition.
It was quite the scene for police who were called out to this north side bar off of Highway 281 close to 2:30 this morning. It was just as the Rue Pub was closing that San Antonio police say a fight broke out inside. They say the fight escalated and carried out to the parking lot right before shots were fired. In fact, multiple shots popped off. Police found at least 15 shell casings and about 5 vehicles were hit. One of those rounds hitting a man who was taken to University Hospital in critical condition.
The suspect involved in the shooting did take off. A clear description of the getaway car has not been established. Police are hoping to question the victim at the hospital to get more information. Reporting from the city's north side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
We now know the name of a 17-year-old who was killed in a shooting last week. He has been identified as Dominic Hernandez. The medical examiner's office says he died from a gunshot wound, his death being called a homicide. It all happened Thursday night just after 10 on Stony Brook Drive. That's over near Medina Base Road on the west side. Police say Hernandez was shot while he was on the street. Records show 43-year-old Gerardo Godina has since been arrested in connection with the deadly shooting and is charged with murder. SAPD says they are not looking for any other suspects.
It is the third time this week a person hit by a train in our area. This time it was a 31-year-old man who was pronounced dead on the tracks. It happened around 1:30 this morning on J Street and Roland Avenue. Police say a man was lying in the middle of the railroad tracks when a train conductor noticed him while approaching. He immediately honked the horn and applied the brakes, but the man did not respond and the train could not stop in time. The first fatal train accident was this week on Tuesday. Another man was hit earlier this week, but he survived. Gun violence spiking around the nation over this holiday weekend.
Yeah, yesterday afternoon, more than a dozen people injured when shots rang out at a shopping mall in South Carolina. And then overnight, 2 people killed during a party at an Airbnb rental in Pittsburgh.
Airbnb issuing a statement today saying the person who rented the property has been banned for life and the company is cooperating with police.
Police say 200 people, many underage, were gathered at that Airbnb when the shots rang out. As many as 50 rounds fired inside with an additional 50 outside that house.
This goes back to having too many guns, too many illegal guns on the streets, too many people who have access to these illegal weapons.
This past Monday, the president announcing his administration's efforts to fight gun violence. A core part of his plan is to stop the proliferation of so-called ghost guns, where parts can be easily purchased online. To Ukraine now, where Ukrainian officials are pushing back against Russian claims that it now controls the port city of Mariupol.
President Zelensky calling the situation there inhumane. In Kharkiv, shelling by the Russians has killed 1 person and injured 18 others. 4 of those injured were chefs who were working to prepare food at the World Central Kitchen restaurant.
Russia has threatened to increase missile attacks against Kyiv, even though Russian troops pulled back from the area around the capital.
But the truth is that as far as Kyiv is concerned, we always have a threat of Russians coming back and trying to seize our capital.
Despite the threat of more shelling, Christians filled this church for Easter Mass. Meanwhile, the U.S. agreed to deliver $800 million in military aid to Ukraine.
Still ahead on the news at 5:30, it's an annual event at the Tower of Americas. What today's Easter extravaganza had in store for families and kids of all ages. On this Easter Sunday, many San Antonians hopping on over to the Easter extravaganza at the Tower of the Americas.
It's an annual event full of Easter fun with activities for the entire family. It started at 11 this morning and just ended about 30 minutes ago at 5.
The big event included mingling with the Easter Bunny, as you see there, face painting, Easter egg diet, and of course, a big Easter egg hunt for all the kids.
It ended just in time, Katie.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was a muggy Easter egg hunt, that is for sure. Things are looking really cloudy around the airport here at 410. Unfortunately, most of the San Antonio area in Bexar County missing out on rain today. The chance for storms, isolated storms, was always that, very isolated. And we've got a couple of severe storms still going well west of Highway 281. I'll show you the very latest live radar coming up in just a couple of minutes. The aquifer today is down 0.3 foot, and in your pollen count, oak is high, molds, pecan, and grass are low. Stay with us. More radar coming up after the break. All right, welcome back. As promised, a look at live radar. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for a cluster of storms across Medina County. Let me get you the latest here. This yellow polygon, this is our new severe thunderstorm warning, and it includes places like Hondo. Here's Highway 90 in Medina County going into Uvalde County. This storm is dropping south, a little southeasterly movement to it. Big concern here will be for some hail up to 1 inch in diameter, about the size of quarters. But these storms this afternoon and this evening have had a history of producing hail larger than that. And I wouldn't be surprised if this tries to pulse up just a little bit before getting to Hondo and Highway 90. So So Dehennis, Hondo, Dunlay, you need to get inside and in an interior room because you don't want to be around windows when hail is coming on through. We talked with Justin Horn earlier. He's still in Storm Chaser. He's on Highway 90 heading west toward Hondo, so he's just about south of this storm. I want to get his vantage point here really briefly if we can, Justin. What are you seeing? So you're heading west there on Highway 90.
You're heading west there on Highway 90.
Hey there, Katie. It's been pretty interesting to watch these storms sort of reform to the west. We initially had one along I-10, and then we saw the storm that just came through Castroville develop to the west of that, and now we're getting these storms to the west of that. So we kind of been following them along Highway 90 to the west, and it's getting darker. Again, these storms have pretty good structure. You're looking at them, from where we are along Highway 90, and it's still dry where we are at the moment between Castroville and Hondo. But they have good structure, some good vertical movement to them, and so I would guess, as you mentioned, there's going to be some pretty sizable hail working its way into Hondo. We're going to head there. We'll see what we can see as far as hopefully no damage, but what kind of hail is falling there. We can give you an update here in a little bit on social media or maybe through the KSAT weather app, but we'll let you know, and we'll send it back to you, Katie.
Thank you, Justin. Yeah, impressive structure just visually from that storm as he's heading toward it. Again, Justin is south of this storm as it moves south toward Highway 90. So Dunlay, Hondo, Dehennis, please make sure you're staying inside away from windows because the warning for this storm is hail up to 1 inch in diameter. That's about the size of quarters. But as we've been talking about, these storms have been pulsing up and producing hail larger than that very quickly. So please make sure you're staying inside. I'll continue to monitor this storm as it moves south through the southern portion of Medina County over the next half hour or so. Elsewhere, my friends, things are pretty quiet. The chance for storms today was isolated, and that's how things are playing out. But nonetheless, through about sunset this evening, there'll be enough energy in the atmosphere for some isolated severe storms to continue west of 281. So places like Uvalde County, Zavala County, Frio County, even parts of Medina County there, you guys have the best chance to see an isolated severe storm through about 8 p.m. Once the sun goes down, we lose a lot of our good rain and storm making energy. So things will start to wind down by about 10 o'clock and then quiet through the overnight hours with skies gradually clearing. And believe it or not, tomorrow is actually going to be a pretty nice day, a breezy day with lower humidity. It's not going to be the driest air we've ever had, but it'll be a little bit less muggy than it's been this weekend. 63 in the morning, 86 in the afternoon with mostly sunny skies. Otherwise, this week, highs in the upper 80s, some very low chances of some pop-up showers and storms. The big story this week will be the wind. We've got not one, not two, but several windy days with wind gusts up to about 30 miles per hour each day coming up essentially Tuesday through the start of the weekend. So thankfully it won't be overly dry, so we're not concerned about a lot of fire danger this week, but that wind is going to be present pretty much each day, guys.
All right, good news. Thanks, Katie.
All right, Andrew, the UTSA head coaching staff liked what they saw at the Roadrunners spring game.
That's right, and the Roadrunners just wanted to get better. They didn't want any physical contact, so they blew plays dead early, but the point was they did get better. We come back, we'll hear from the players and how they felt about their performance. Plus, Devin Vassell thinks Pop sees a lot from this young core. We'll get his thoughts on the season next.
Defense thinks the whistle's perfect. Offense thinks it never is, and you never make them happy.
UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor said he was officiating as much as he was coaching during the Roadrunners spring game on Thursday night in Big Board Sports. But first, no one wishes they were still playing right now more than the Spurs themselves. The young core saw their roller coaster season come to an end in the play-in tournament on Wednesday evening in New Orleans, but every one of them made important strides as players this season. That includes Devin Vassell, who posted career-high marks in nearly every statistical category. Vassell believes Pop saw the team's improvement this year.
Pop knows what we can be, and he pushes us to that every day. He pushes us to get better and better and better. He knows the team that we can be. I mean, we've competed and played with every team. Like, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he's seen us play the top teams and the top seeds and go toe-to-toe with them and win games like that. Like, so he knows what we can be. He knows, but we gotta be able to see that in ourselves and know that, you know what, every night we gotta compete. We gotta play a certain way in order to win these games. Nothing is given. We gotta earn it.
The Spurs finished with a 9-22 record against teams currently in the Western Conference playoffs. They lost all 8 games against the top 2 seeds. But San Antonio did split their 4 matchups with Golden State. The Warriors opened their playoff run last night with a convincing home win over the Denver Nuggets, 123-107. Steph Curry returned to the lineup after missing the last month with a foot injury, and he scored 16 points in the rare showing off the bench. But the star of the show is Jordan Poole, who posted a game-high 30 points in his playoff debut. His performance drew plenty of compliments from teammate Klay Thompson.
Jordan Poole, wow, what a playoff debut. I mean, all his hard work is paying off. If he doesn't get most improved this year, it just doesn't make any sense. Without him, we would not be where we're at. So, Dub Nation, we should be very grateful for Jordan's development and the type of player he's become, because he's just incredible.
In the Eastern Conference, top-seeded Miami Heat hoping up against the 8th-seeded Atlanta Hawks. Talk about a hot start for the home team. Kyle Lowry drains the triple from the wing, and Miami goes up 53-34. They led by 19 at halftime, but Duncan Robinson buried whatever chances Atlanta had to come back. He went 8 for 9 from distance, finishing with a game-high 27 points, and Miami cruises to a big win, 115-91. And as you saw right here on KSAT 12, second-seeded Celtics hosting number 7 Brooklyn in Game 1 of their series. This one went right down to the wire. Home team down by 1. Marcus Smart drives and finds Jason Tatum, who spins and banks it in at the buzzer. Wow, what a finish. They review to see if it's good, and it was. Boston takes Game 1, 115-114. Nearly 3,000 fans were on hand to watch UTSA's annual spring game at Ferris Stadium on Thursday night, and it was a great way to cap off 5 weeks of spring practices. The offense and defense both finished in a dead heat, tied at 7-all. Head coach Jeff Traylor was calling the shots, and he wanted the whistles blown early to stop plays on first contact. The goal is to get better, not hurt themselves at this point in the season, and the Roadrunners believe they did exactly that while learning a lot about themselves.
We just learned how deep we are. You know, we have so many young guys that are showing promise. We have so many new leaders. With a lot of guys graduate, we had to have a lot of people step up, and it was just good to see everybody, find out their new roles, put themselves in uncomfortable situations, and that's what the spring is for, to grow.
The Roadrunners will open their season on September 3rd at home in the Dome against Houston. San Antonio FC picked up their 5th win of the season last night, opening their Copa Tejas run this year with a 1-0 victory over El Paso Locomotive FC. Elliot Collier scored the game's only goal in the 11th minute of the play on a beautiful strike in the box, while the defense pitched a shutout for the second straight game. San Antonio could have had a couple more goals in the first half, but they were thrilled with the start and the end result.
We knew that they were going to come out. They're, top of the league or second in the league for goals scored, but also second to worst or worst for goals against. So we knew if we came out fast, we could put a lot of chances on them. We're very unfortunate to not be 3-0 up at halftime, but, we shut out one of the best attacking teams in the league, so can't be more proud of the guys.
San Antonio FC is now 3rd in the Western Conference standings. They'll host Austin FC from the MLS in the U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday at 8 p.m. And let's head to the majors. Rangers looking for a bounce-back win against the Angels this afternoon. Home team down 4-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. 1 on for Adolis Garcia, and he gets all of that one. Rangers do cut the deficit down to 1, but unfortunately they get no closer. The Angels plate 2 runs in the top of the 6th and 8th innings, and the Rangers end up falling 8-3. Astros currently in action up in Seattle. It's not looking good for H-Town in the 7th inning. Hope to have highlights for that one and a lot more tonight on Instant Replay. Guys?
We'll be right back.
Continuing to watch a severe thunderstorm across Medina County. Looks like the worst of the storm now is moving across Highway 90 from D'Hanis to Hondo and Dunlay. Meteorologist Justin Horn out in the storm chaser near Hondo. He was intercepting this storm. Here is his view. He just sent us a picture, texted us a photo of a small hail that was about half the size of a AA battery for a little bit of perspective. So this storm is still actively producing some hail. A severe thunderstorm warning continues for the southern portion of Medina County south of Highway 90 until 6:30. Hail up to 1 inch in diameter, about the size of a quarter possible, and also some 60-mile-per-hour winds. These isolated storms that are generally west of 281 currently will continue basically until the sun goes down. We'll keep you updated via the KSAT Weather Authority app. Have that downloaded. I'll have a full recap of today's severe weather and a look at the week ahead tonight on the Night Beats.
And that is all of our time. We will see you back here for the Night Beat tonight at 10. Until then, have a good evening.